1 minute. Alright, stand by. Going live in 3, 2. Hello everyone, welcome to this webinar to launch the Victoria Mutual eLoan. The Victoria Mutual Group has as our purpose to empower our members globally to achieve financial well-being. And the Victoria Mutual Group also has 4 strategic goals. One of these strategic goals is to be a modern mutual. And by that we mean we would like to offer innovative solutions to meet the needs of our members and clients. So over the past few years, we have introduced a wide range of new products, of new service channels to meet the needs of our members and clients all over the world. We have introduced the most powerful auto loan in Jamaica, the VM Drive. We have introduced 8 unit trust portfolios in VM Wealth. We have, in VM Pensions, introduced a new approved retirement scheme. And of course, earlier this year, we launched the best online banking solution for individuals in the country, and by far the best mobile banking app. We have only this month, in fact, in November, introduced a client management portal in VM Wealth and a great digital mortgage experience in Victoria Mutual Building Society. And of course, last year we introduced 19 intelligent ABMs. Well, this evening we introduced another new exciting product from the Victoria Mutual Group. It is a VM eLoan. And this VM eLoan will be ultra convenient, very easy for you to access and to achieve your financial goals. It is a most empowering solution for all our members and clients. It will enable you to do more and to realize your financial goals. This webinar is to share further details on the VM eLoan. The presenters will be Mark Young. He's the CEO of our partner, Carilend, Carilend Caribbean Holdings Limited. Devon Barrett is a Group Chief Investment Officer of Victoria Mutual. And Craig Stephen is the Country Manager of Carilend Jamaica. They will share details on the VM eLoan. I'm now going to invite Mr. Mark Young, who is the CEO of Carilend Caribbean Holdings, to tell you a bit about the context in which the VM eLoan is being launched and what has Carilend been doing right across the region, starting in Barbados, with Jamaica being the next step. Over to you, Mark. we just hand it over to you.
Good evening. Yes, sorry, I was saying that. Did you catch the start there, Colin? I'm not sure. I was saying that once I had a background into, once I was a frontline banker, I had a background in technology, and I was fascinated by the possibilities that technology could bring us and the changes that it would bring to our landscape. The global landscape is changing, and our lives are more and more online, and our lives are more and more digital. More and more people want convenience. They want to be able to shop online, buy services online, even work from home online. And they want to live more and more of their lives online. This is not just in communities overseas, it's also in Jamaica and the Caribbean. If you look at smartphone penetration in our service all along the way. I'm not going to tell you any more about this right now. I'm going to tell you, leave that to Craig Stephen, our country head of Carilend in Jamaica. And I'll leave him to explain the process in detail at a later stage in our webinar today. I just want to spend a few minutes to turn and take a deeper look at financial services and provide some educational aspect to today's webinar. Financial services can seem complex and bewildering to those that are not working in the industry on a day-to-day basis. There's lots of jargon and terms used, and sometimes that can make it seem daunting to people that are just not there using it every day. And that's why we at Carilend believe that financial education is vitally important. We want everybody who has a product that they buy via Carilend to be well educated about what they're doing. So let's take a moment to talk about debt. Debt is a solution. Debt is not something that you should fear. Debt, if used responsibly, can allow you to achieve things sooner that you would not otherwise be able to achieve. Some examples of using debt responsibly would be to get further education, would be to improve your home, would be to settle emergency expenses you wouldn't otherwise have the resources to do. It could be even to be able to start your own business. And that's some of the things that debt, when used responsibly, can do to help you build for the future. Using debt can also be used to manage and improve your finances. You can refinance expensive credit cards, you can consolidate smaller debts, and bring them all together into one smaller monthly repayment that's manageable for you to get your debt onto a reducing basis. Whenever you take debt on, you must be sure to make sure you understand all the terms and conditions that are attached, and in particular the interest rates you'll pay and how it's calculated, and any fees you will pay and when you'll pay them. Interest rates can be displayed as annual, monthly, or even weekly rates, and they can be calculated on a couple of bases, whether it's a reducing balance basis, where you only pay interest on the balance that you owe, or on the add-on basis, which can result in a much higher cost for your loan. Fees can sometimes be hidden and not well explained and contribute substantially to the cost of your loan. Please make sure you get a clear statement of the interest and the fees you will pay in full upfront, and understand the total cost of your loan before you make a decision, as you would always do if you get a loan through Carilend. I also want to mention for a moment credit scores. Your credit score is a report provided by an independent company, a credit bureau, who collects all of your credit information and reports on how you've handled your financial commitments. If you use debt responsibly and properly and make regular payments on time, this will improve your credit score. This will allow you to get cheaper loans in the future, be able to get more loans in the future if you need them, and even be able to enable you to qualify for a Victoria Mutual Building Society mortgage to enable you to get the home of your dreams. In all things financial, education is critical. Please make sure that you are well educated about any financial decision you make. This is the first series first webinar in a series of 3, and they will all be about getting educated financially and managing your financial affairs responsibly. Please look out for the next 2 webinars in our series and improve your financial education. I think I've said enough for now, so I'm going to pause and hand you back to Courtney and see if we've got any early questions from anybody online, our viewers and our people watching online in YouTube and on Facebook. And hand it back to you, Courtney.
Thank you very much, Mark. And we really do appreciate that update on how Carilend was established, the thought process that went into the establishment of Carilend with you and your partners. And you know, when Devon comes, he'll tell us how VM got into this new partnership with Carilend to actually help Carilend to take this good product to Jamaica. And I really want to thank you for the tips that you gave on good debt versus bad debt, and really how do you borrow wisely and responsibly. Because some people think that all debt is bad, and some others think that all debt is good. And I think you have shared very, very clearly for us what's wise and responsible borrowing. And so I'm going to now invite some questions. We're going to take a few questions before our next presenter. So the first question is consolidation an option? And for the VM eLoan. And Mark, would you want to, and I know that Craig will speak to these when he comes later, but would you want to take that one now, even before Craig comes? Is consolidation an option? And secondly, would you suggest getting a car loan from Carilend?
Great. 2 great questions. Thanks, Courtney. Yeah. So on the first one is consolidation option. I mentioned that briefly in my comments, and yes, consolidation. I didn't mention in my comments that we've been operating for over 3.5 years now in Barbados and providing loans to consumers here in Barbados. And consolidating other loans is an extremely popular option for consumers in Barbados working via Carilend. And I'm sure it will be an extremely popular option for consumers in Jamaica to consolidate their other smaller loans, put them together and get one manageable payment that they'll be able to know and make on a monthly basis. So yes, absolutely, consolidation is an option. You mentioned car loans, and you can borrow for any purpose via Carilend and via the VM eLoan up to the $1 million. That's the current limit on our Victoria Mutual eLoan. But I know that, Courtney, that you have a great product in the VM Drive product in the VMBS family, which you'll be wanting to make sure that consumers take advantage of, which is properly and specially designed to help with their car purchases. So with that, I'll hand it back to you, Courtney.
It's an option, and so, you know, if you'd like to purchase a car that's much more expensive than the maximum of $1 million that we'll do through the VM loan, then I think you'd have to get a regular auto loan for that, and the VM Drive is a great option. But perhaps there are some, you'd like to purchase a vehicle that, you know, would not neatly fit into the criteria that we would use for the VM Drive, and so the VM eLoan powered by Carilend would be a great option for you there. So, you know, it depends on what your objectives are. How long do I have to repay the loan? Craig? Maximum repayment period? Maximum 5 years. All right. Many of these questions about the loan terms and conditions, I expect that Craig will answer when he comes to share with you later. Are there any other questions? We'll probably just take one more. All right, if there are no more questions at this point, I'm going to now invite the Group Chief Investment Officer of Victoria Mutual, Devon Barrett, to share with you a brief introduction on the 30% shareholder of Carilend in Jamaica. That's VM Investments Limited. Why did VM choose to invest in Carilend? And, you know, to just explain a bit about the relationship between Carilend, Caribbean Holdings, and Victoria Mutual through VMIL. All right, so I'm going to now hand over to Devon Barrett. Please keep your questions coming because we have we're really doing well with respect to time for our presentation. So we're going to leave lots of time to answer your questions. After Devon speaks, he'll introduce Craig Stephen, who is the country manager of Carilend, Jamaica, and Craig will be able to answer, I think, all of your questions. All right, thank you for joining us. Please stay tuned, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube. Please stay tuned and send your questions in. As the speakers, whether it's Devon or Craig, as they share with you, please submit your questions. We'll take them we'll answer them immediately after. Now, my pleasure to introduce to you Devon Barrett.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you very much for the.
You kill me.
Let me be the first to say, welcome, Carilend
All right, I'll keep it.
to Jamaica. So you might have heard that there is this in Barbados for the last 3 or 4 years. And now it's time for Jamaica. And as we know, there are bigger plans for Carilend. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Let me be the first to say welcome to Carilend Caribbean Limited. Welcome to Jamaica. We know you've been in Barbados for a little while, and everybody there would by now know you and love you. It's time for Jamaica to welcome you, and I'm sure we know you, get to know you, and get to love you just the same. And as we know, there are bigger plans for Carilend Caribbean outside of Jamaica, and I'm sure Mark and Craig will speak to that later on. But there's a relationship between Victoria Mutual Investments Limited and the Victoria Mutual Group as a whole and Carilend. The relationship started maybe about 2 years ago when we were introduced to Carilend Caribbean Limited. We first met Mark and his team, and then we met the other directors, the other Mark Linehan, and subsequent to that, Kailash Pardasani. So we've known the Carilend Caribbean team for maybe 2 years now. And guess what? We've become real partners at the end of the day. So let me tell you a little bit about Victoria Mutual Investments Limited, which is the 30% owner of Carilend Caribbean Limited. Victoria Mutual Investments Limited was incorporated in Jamaica in 1984, so we're 36 years old. The company has been in Jamaica for all this time and has been looking to go outside of Jamaica. And I'm sure there are some opportunities that we'll talk about somewhere along the line for getting outside of Jamaica. The company had a successful IPO back in December 2017 and listed its shares on the Jamaica Stock Exchange on December 29, 2017. Victoria Mutual Investments Limited offers a wide range of products and services. These include margin loans, insurance premium financing, lease financing, underwriting services, and other corporate loans, which are managed by our experts over at Victoria Mutual Wealth Management Limited. Victoria Mutual Wealth Management Limited is the wholly owned subsidiary of Victoria Mutual Investments Limited. Victoria Mutual Wealth Management is a licensed securities dealer, and it is a stockbroker on the Jamaica Stock Exchange. It has been a stockbroker on the Jamaica Stock Exchange since 1994. The company offers a wide range of products and services, including local and US stocks. So you can buy and sell stocks on the Jamaica Stock Exchange and the US stock exchanges through Victoria Mutual Wealth Management Limited. They also offer corporate loans, capital market financing, repurchase agreements, bond trading, and unit trust trading. So there are a wide range of opportunities in Victoria Mutual Wealth Management that will suit your needs. So let me tell you why we went this direction of partnering with Carilend. So I talked at the start about the really great relationship that we've built with them. But the first thing we found with them is that they share the same level of integrity that we do. So we decided that we had to have a partner that would have and share the same values that we have. So that's the first question that we asked, and they answered the question with a resounding answer. But then it went a little further. We over time developed some strategic objectives in the Victoria Mutual Group, and by extension Victoria Mutual Investments Limited. And we said we're going to pursue them. One of them had to do with the way we do business with our members and clients. This one is particularly dear to me because when we went public back in December 2017, one of the proposals we made in the initial public offering is that we were going to use the funds raised to finance small and medium-sized entities in Jamaica. We didn't say in the region, but we did say by extension the region. Now, it became an opportunity for us because we saw a gap in the market. The gap in the market that we saw was a large complaints from the SMEs in Jamaica that they just couldn't get financing. And we said, you know what? We're here for 142 years as a group, and we need to ensure that our members and clients will find the financing that they need. And so we went out looking for that opportunity, and we found it. So we said Carilend would fit right into that shoe, simply because Carilend was an emerging company in the region. It had plans to expand across the region, and it needed capital. So we said, you know what? If Carilend can show us the potential that we would invest in, we would go ahead and invest in Carilend. And our promise was not just to do equity financing, but we go further into debt financing. So again, Carilend checked that box. Regional growth and diversification was something that Carilend had on its agenda. So Carilend, as I said earlier, started in Barbados, the plan to move to Jamaica, and then to Trinidad and to other countries in the region. And we said, you know what? We want to be on that ride with Carilend because that's exactly what we have in mind. Carilend came with also some disruptive technology that we definitely liked. Again, 3 years ago, we developed a digitalization plan, and disruptive technologies was one of the main planks on that plan. And we said we could get disruptive technology by originating it from ground up, or we could partner with somebody who would deliver that. When we went and did the due diligence with Carilend, we found that they also checked that box. So we said they had some disruptive technologies that we really need in our going forward. And so we jumped on board to benefit from that, because what that will bring to the table is an online consumer lending experience that our clients and members would definitely love. So we decided, again, that that box was checked. Carilend is also the first of its kind in the region to offer fully integrated end-to-end online lending experience via its state-of-the-art electronic platform. So that goes without saying, that also checks the box. So right from the start, Carilend was doing exactly what we wanted done, and we said that is a partnership that we definitely love. So what did we do? How did we execute on it? We negotiated with the Carilend owners at the time, and we acquired a 30% stake in the company back in September 2019. That was closed in September 2019. The plan thereafter was to get the Jamaica business started and then to move on to the other territories in the region. We also benefited from 2 seats on the board of 5. So we have 2 directors on that board, and we're happy to say that we're really loving the experience that we're having with the other directors on the board. And we have also gone out and raised, outside of our equity injection, 650 million Jamaican dollars for Carilend since we've started that business. 650 million Jamaican dollars, not a little bit of money in Jamaica, as they would say in Jamaica. So I say that to say that I think the promise that we made back in 2017 during our IPO, we have delivered on that promise. And so now what we expect is that Carilend will get those benefits passed on to our members and clients, the current and the potential clients. And we are pretty sure that our members and clients, current and potential, will definitely benefit from that. So let me just now move on to just tell you a little bit about Carilend Jamaica. And I'm not going to tell you about Carilend Jamaica. Craig Stephen to come will tell you about it. But I'm just going to introduce you now to Craig Stephen because he could help you on that. And I will take questions later on if you have any. But Craig Stephen is in charge of the Jamaica business. He's responsible for growing and developing the business in Jamaica. Prior to joining Carilend, Craig was the CEO and co-founder of Jamaica's first licensed credit bureau, Credit Info Jamaica. Craig has worked in the banking sector in management over the past 10 years. He's worked in commercial banks, credit unions, and of course, credit bureaus. So let me stop here now and introduce you to Craig Stephen, and he'll definitely tell you more about Jamaica. Thank you very much again for your time.
Good evening, viewers. My name is Craig Stephen. I'm the country manager at Carilend Jamaica. I also want to thank Devon and the whole Victoria Mutual family for the opportunity here today and the lovely intro and information that he gave earlier. Also, I'd like to say a welcome to Mark Young, our CEO, who is there in Barbados, and I know he really wants to be here with the team as we unveil this exciting product. Now, I'm happy to be here, of course, and excited to talk to you about the product that we have here at Carilend. It is what I would consider to be, and our entire team, relevant, convenient, and affordable product. Now, we touched on some of these topics before when Mark was mentioning the landscape, and I just wanted to touch a little bit more in terms of relevance in business overall. Now, I was looking at an article today about Kodak, which many of you should remember is a company that used to delve in film and photography. And I was surprised to see that Kodak has actually turned a whole 360 degree and they're now going into pharmaceuticals. Pharmaceuticals, Kodak, yes. And the reason they're doing that is due to relevance. When they were in film industry and things changed into digital, they didn't transition well. Now, they're in a time where there's a need for COVID-19 materials, and they have gone into COVID-19 starting materials production. It seems strange, but it actually makes sense. Why? Because they're trying to keep their business relevant. So relevance is a very important thing to keep business sustainable. Now, what we have done here with our product is that we have created a product that is in keeping with what's happening today in the business world. What you'll find is a lot of companies have had to now transform the way that they operate. They've had to put their business online, their services online, they've had to leverage newer technology. But that's something that Carilend has done from day one. We've never allowed the COVID-19 pandemic to change the way we do business. That's the way we envisaged our business from the beginning, to bring the best product to our consumers that can fit into what is happening with their lives today. Everybody is spending in excess of 8 hours a day on their mobile devices. So why would we try to deploy services or products in any other manner? So relevance is very important to business, and the product that I will explain to you a little further goes into and speaks to that relevance, because what we are bringing to the market, we have done from day one. And since 3 years ago, when we started 3.5 years ago, it has been a product that has been perfectly suited for today's times. Now we go on to convenience. Convenience, quick and convenient, is basically our business model. It speaks to and allows a potential borrower to sit in the comfort of their homes. Just like I'm sitting here now, they can sit in their home or their office, of course not while they're doing work, but once they have some free time, they can jump onto any tablet, any mobile device, any computer, and they can access our system, our services virtually anywhere that they have access to the internet. Now, once they apply for a loan, they'll get a response within a day, and all their funds will be dispersed online. It's very important, right? So everything is done from end to end is done online. You'll never have to visit an office. You'll never have to produce documents and drive and come and deliver it to an office. Everything is done online. And what that does is that promotes far greater levels of efficiency and productivity with our society. If we have people who are working, who are able to transact business in their free time, in their downtime, they'll be able to focus more on their work and be more productive. And that is our aim, to fit into what how business is running today. It's very important for us. Also, when we speak about convenience, we all know how difficult it is when you're at work and you have to take maybe a half a day just to go and transact business at the tax office, or if you have to go and transact business at even the bank. It takes a very long time. Carilend eliminates that if it's the need for a loan. We enable you to sit down at the comfort of your home and apply from beginning to end and get your funds dispersed. So that is what we call convenient. Now, affordability. Affordability is our mantra as well. Courtney spoke to our need to have responsible borrowers. Responsible borrowers need to benefit from more affordable rates. It's very important, and it's our business model that we are very transparent with the rates that we offer. We will offer unsecured loans between 13% and 18% per annum, but on the reducing balance, which is very important. Far different from simple interest, and that's what puts us in line more with a credit union offering or a bank offering. Less like a microfinance offering, where their models are traditionally simple interest rates, and we believe that reducing balance rates is a much fairer way of deploying financing, and that's the model that we have implemented. And when you talk about a range from 13 to 18%, a range is there because our loans are risk adjusted, they're risk-based pricing, which means that the better you are, the lower the cost for your loan. The higher risk you are, the higher the premium for your loan. But because it's a dynamic system, if you start off at the highest risk and you improve over time, you will end up benefiting from a lower interest rate over time. So that's what we call risk-based pricing. And so we have very low rates, very competitive rates, and we also have these rates extended for a 5-year period for repayment. So it makes the repayment periods a lot more manageable and puts us a lot more competitive and in line with credit unions and the banks. So in summary, what is our offering? What does Carilend have to offer? Carilend has a completely online, end-to-end, unsecured loan product, which ranges from 150,000 up to 1 million Jamaican dollars. You have between 1 year and 5 years to repay, depending on, if you can manage the repayment. And on top of that, everything is done by going to carilend.com and registering an account with us. And once you register an account with us, then you have now the ability to apply for a loan. And you might think, what are the things that you will need in order to apply for a loan like this? How do I qualify? How do I apply? Well, the first thing, as I mentioned, you go to carilend.com, you click on Start Borrowing Now, you register an account, you confirm your email address, and then you will be able to apply for a loan. What will you need? Well, when you go there, we'll ask some basic questions about you, because of course we'll need some information in order to make our risk assessment. So we'll ask you some personal details like your name, your address, your date of birth, etc. We will look at your employment details in terms of how long you've been employed, your position, what your salary is. We'll need a valid identification, a passport, a driver's license, a voter's ID. We'll need 2 months recent pay slips and an employment letter that was drafted within the last month. So a current employment letter and 2 months pay slips. And we'll also need your 2 months recent bank statements for where your salary, the bank account for where your salary is going to. Now, that's all you need. In addition, so when you have those documents, when you have that information, you'll go online, fill it out, you'll upload the documents to us, and once we get everything, you'll get a response within 24 hours. Now, 5 things to check for before you apply. 1, are you between the ages of 21 and 65? 2, have you been resident in Jamaica for at least years? 3, do you have a regular source of income? Because that's important. 4, earning a net salary in excess of 85,000 per month. That's after you take out your expenses. And last but very not least, do you have a good credit history? A good credit history is important in our assessment of your loan application. It's something that we use in our adjudication process, and it's something that helps us to, protect the whole system by ensuring that we have the best quality borrowers, ensuring that we are helping you to make the best decisions, and ensuring that we are fostering persons who understand how important your credit history is, because it's something that you build and you maintain over time. And it's important in our lending process. So essentially, that is the Carilend offer. We are completely online, very convenient. Since we've started, we've issued a number of loans, and I've yet to see most of the persons or any of the persons who we've lent to thus far. We've had instances where persons wanted to stop by and drop off documents, and we're like, no, that's not how the process works. You go online, you upload your documents, and everything will get to us and will be adjudicated. But the final thing about our product, which I think is probably, I would call it the icing on the cake. I call it Tech with a Smile. It's my way of explaining how important customer service is with technology. Far too often, we push consumers to technology. They're having issues with the technology, and there's no one there to help them and support them. Carilend's model is totally different. Yes, We are backed by technology. We do have the latest technology, but we're a very customer service oriented company. And if anybody is having any challenges applying online, you can always contact us at 876-618-8865 or send us an email at infojam@carilend.com and someone will reach out to you. So I'll share a quick experience I had today with a bank. I won't name the bank. However, it's a bank that I've been banking with for over 25 years, and I was having some difficulties doing a transfer of funds. And I asked today, can I come in and have it facilitated? And for 5 minutes, we sat down on the phone, and the rep is convincing me not to come in, that I need to have it processed online. And I was telling her that this is the exact issue that we are trying to mitigate at Carilend. When people have issues, someone needs to be able to support them, to carry them to that end process so that they can feel that everything works and is working in their favor. And what happened to me today would never happen at Carilend with a customer, because we will be there to support that customer once they have any issue at all. So what our product is technology. It's convenient. It's exactly what you want at this point in time. It's affordable, and it is surrounded by customer service. So essentially, that is our Carilend offer. There's a lot more that you can learn when you go to carilend.com. You'll get more details about what you would need, and I look forward to having you, to seeing your applications come through our system, and looking forward to writing a lot more loans in Jamaica and helping the Jamaican economy. So I believe there should be some question and answer now. All right. Oh, we have lots of questions there. Do I need references? And if yes, how many? No, you don't. Part of our business, you don't need references. So all you need to do, the information that I mentioned, you needed your 2 recent pay slips, your 2 months bank statements, your ID, and you go online, and your employment letter as well, and you go online and you fill out the basic information details about yourself and your employment, and that's all you would need for us to adjudicate. Of course, you'd have to give us the authority to have your credit report pulled so that it can form a part of the assessment. If you don't hear anything back by the next business day, what's the next step? I would give us a call at 876-618-8865 or send us an email to infojam, that's infojam@carilend.com. Next question, what would make me a high risk versus a low risk borrower? It reminds me of the question we got at the last webinar when someone asked which stock should we invest in, and it's a very subjective thing. A lot of things can make you high risk versus low risk. Typically, in the risk management world, we use a term called SFR, severity, frequency, and recency. And what it means is that the bad debts that you have, how severe are they? Meaning the amount, is it a large amount? How frequently it happened? Are you someone who is always owing in terms of arrears? And recency in terms of how recently did it happen? Because somebody who recently defaulted tends to be more risky than somebody who defaulted 3 years ago. So to answer that question is very difficult. But I would say look at the debts that you have, especially the ones that are maybe in arrears or outstanding. Is it large compared to your overall debt? Have you owed that money a long time ago or very recently? And how many times do you find yourself into in arrears problems? So those are the things that factor into high risk versus low risk. Can I get a loan in US dollars? Unfortunately, no, our loans are currently denominated in Jamaican dollars. My job letter is dated late September. Can I apply now? You can, but we would recommend that you get a more current job letter because many things could have happened between September and now. And how long after the loan has been approved, the loan will be dispersed to your account? Well, that's the beauty of Carilend, 1 to 3 days depending on the account that you are doing business from. So some accounts you will be credited same day, some may take up to 3 days, depending on the banking system. But the dispersal will happen immediately, the same day. I'm a Jamaican, but I work on a Caribbean island. Will I qualify to get this loan? Difficult, unfortunately, if you're not residing here at least within the 3 years, within the last 3 years. It may be difficult, but I'll tell you, put in an application and let the adjudicators decide. Are there any upfront fees? Yes, there is a small fee that is gathered upfront, but it's put into the loan and it's paid over the life of the loan. So it's not something that you'll have to come up with any funds out of your pocket in order to apply for this loan. Yes, there is a fee that we take that goes into a holding account. That holding account is used to protect all the loans across our system. So I don't know if you consider that a fee, but it's probably a fee to you. What is the salary requirement? The minimum salary requirement is $85,000 per month, and that is after you take out your expenses and the cost of your loans and so forth. How much do you have left to now pay us? How is the loan repaid? The loan is repaid via the bank, via a salary deduction from your employer and or a direct deposit from your employer. So if your employer can direct deposit the funds to a VMBS account or your NCB account, or otherwise we will be able to facilitate your repayment. What documents do I need to supply? You will need your last 2 months pay slips, 2 months bank statements, an employment letter dated within the last month, and a valid identification, government issued identification in a driver's license, passport, or voter's ID. All other information can be filled out online in terms of your personal details. Maximum and minimum amounts are 150,000 is the minimum Jamaican, and our max is 1 million Jamaican. So I think that seems like the bulk of the questions, very good questions, the questions we expected to see. I see a last one there coming up with COVID-19 and the uncertainty, but it doesn't seem to be finished. Seems like an interesting question. Is there anything more? Oh, what with COVID-19 and the uncertainty, what precautions should I take with borrowing from Carilend? Strange, maybe I think that should probably be the reverse. What protections would Carilend be taking to lend in the COVID-19 time? Because we won't be the ones that would be presenting risk in that transaction. It would be the reverse. It would be the one who is borrowing has a potential to default. And that's why we pride ourselves in our adjudication process, in the information we capture, how we analyze it, how we couple it with external information to make that final decision. And of course, the experience that we brought on board to help with the adjudication in terms of persons who have experience in that field are all things that we use to protect us in the COVID-19 uncertainty times. In addition to that fee that I mentioned earlier, which goes into a fund which allows us to protect the portfolio overall. What affects my borrowing capability for this loan? Borrowing capability is affected mainly by your income and expenditure profile, what your DSR is, your disposable income, your prior credit history would also factor into your borrowing capability, and the relative strength of your employment and employer. So we mentioned things about residing here for in excess of 3 years. We'd also like to see persons who would have been employed in excess of 2 years, maybe not in their current job, but at least overall from the beginning of their professional life. And so those are the things that would possibly affect you in terms of your borrowing capability. Are there any penalties for paying off a loan early? No penalties because it's a reducing balance loan. That's the benefit of a reducing balance loan. At the point in time when you wish to repay that loan, you will be paying interest based on what the balance is. So no, there are no penalties for paying off the loan early. However, depending on when you pay it out, because interest is calculated daily. So if you say you want to pay it out today, but you don't actually pay out the loan until next week, it might be slightly higher in terms of what you need to pay out. But no direct penalty. Can the job letter be addressed to VMBS? Yes, it can be addressed to VMBS, but we would prefer it be addressed to us. Creates a better transaction, better for auditing that everything is to where it should go. But yes, it is something that we will accept. Hi, Craig, please. Oh, okay. All right. So we've got a lot of questions, but we have a fun giveaway. Fun giveaway, because everybody likes giveaways in Jamaica, right? And I'm going to ask, or welcome Courtney, to explain to you what this giveaway is about and what you'll be potentially getting. Well, Courtney was very kind to throw it back to me. And what our giveaway is, we will be asking 2 questions, and for the winner, whoever answers correctly, they will be getting 2 months waiver on the first 2 months payments towards their loan will be waived. Not a moratorium, a waiver of the first 2 months payment on your loan. So I think that's very attractive, and I'm excited to see who will win the giveaway. Yeah, I think the question. No. Oh. All right, ready? First question for the giveaway. What are 2 good reasons to borrow? And I think somebody mentioned one earlier, and we'd love to hear 2 good reasons to borrow. The second question for giveaway number 2, or should we do giveaway number 1 first? All right. So we'll do giveaway number 1 first. We won't jump to the second one. Let's give people a chance. What are 2 good reasons to borrow, based on the presentation that Mark made earlier? I see a lot of questions, but no answers. Come on, guys. Who's going to be winner of this 2-month waiver?
consolidation and build credit pool. Debt consolidation and education.
Yes, debt consolidation and education would be two very worthy reasons of borrowing from us. Although we lend loans for any purpose, those are two noble reasons. So that's Ryan.
Jacob Millerson. Jacob Millerson.
Jacro Millerson.
Yeah. Jacob Millerson.
Jacob Millerson. Jacob Millerson is the winner of the first giveaway. What are two good reasons to borrow? And he mentioned debt consolidation, which was spoken earlier, and education. Now, congratulations, by the way, Jacob, or Jacob. Giveaway number 2. Now, this relates to my presentation. How, where do you apply for a VME loan powered by Carilend? Very easy. How do you apply for a VME loan powered by Carilend? So, that's the question for a second giveaway. Who is going to be the lucky winner of another 2-month waiver? Come on, guys, waiting on an answer. How do you apply for a loan from Carilend? I'll give you a hint. Where do you go? Remember, guys, our service is completely online as a hint. All right. Can anybody remind us what the website is or where you'd have to go? Oh. Sharon McLean says online. Yeah. Online is half an answer. So yes, you'd have to go online, but you'd have to visit us at carilend.com. So that's the important thing to remember. Carilend.com. So Sharon McLean is our winner of the second giveaway. That's our winner from YouTube. Was tuning in from YouTube. So congratulations, Sharon McLean. You have won the second giveaway for a 2-month moratorium on your first loan from Carilend Jamaica Limited. So thank you all. Thank you all for participating tonight, for giving us wonderful responses, good questions, and I look forward to serving you in the future. Thank you very much.
I'm Courtney Campbell, back with you to say thanks very much for joining us for this webinar to launch the VM eLoan powered by Carilend. You received lots of rich information this evening, and I'm just reminding you about some of the key points that were made by our presenters. Our presenters were Mark Young, CEO of Carilend Caribbean Holdings Limited, Devon Barrett, Group Chief Investment Officer of the Victoria Mutual Group, and Craig Stephen, who is Country Manager of Carilend, Jamaica. And we learned this evening that the VM eLoan, powered by Carilend, is easy, convenient, and fast. Easy, convenient, and fast. You want to benefit from this loan that will help you to achieve some of your objectives that can be achieved by good, responsible borrowing. Remember, the minimum, 150,000 Jamaican, maximum 1 million Jamaican. You have maximum of 5 years to repay. Craig took you through all the requirements, all the documents that you need to submit. If you are unsure, you need any further information, please contact us. The email address is infojam@carilend.com. That's infojam@carilend.com. The website is carilend.com. Please visit and identify all the documents that you need to submit, all the requirements. As we said, it's easy, convenient, and fast. Thanks very much for having joined us for this webinar this evening. Thanks to all the members of VM for your loyalty, and thanks to all the new members who will be joining us, especially to access this wonderful new product, the VM eLoan. I want to thank all the presenters. Thank you, Mark, and your team for the great work being done at Carilend. Most of you are based in Barbados. You're doing a great job there, satisfying the needs of Barbadians, and you've been doing it for over 3 years. And we thank you for the partnership that you have established with us here in Jamaica through Victoria Mutual to offer the same powerful product to Jamaicans. I want to thank Devon Barrett and his team. Devon and his team arranged, negotiated this partnership with Carilend, and it is working out really wonderfully. We think we're off to a great start in Jamaica. And of course, I want to thank Craig Stephen, who joined us in Carilend, Jamaica earlier this year and has ensured that we're off to a good start, delivering really great service. We saw some wonderful, very encouraging feedback from some persons who have already borrowed from Carilend, Jamaica, and they were able to give testimonials about how smooth the process was. So I want to thank you. I'm Courtney Campbell on behalf of the Victoria Mutual Group and our partners Carilend. Thank you for having joined us, and we wish you a wonderful Christmas and a great 2021.